Hey guys, how we doing? And welcome back to Beginner Bass Lessons. So, today we have been learning about major and minor triads and their inversions, right? So we've been taking a major triad. Let me turn that down a bit. Yeah, so we've taken a major triad. Learned to play it in different positions. We've learned about how a triad is formed through stacking thirds, and we've learned how to move those triads around the cycle of fourths. And that's the same with the minor triad. Yeah, we took the minor triad. I don't know why I'm playing it in D. Let's play it in C. Keep it consistent. So, minor triad first position, minor triad second position, and minor triad third position. And we moved it around the cycle of fourths. And we did that. So if you guys have missed those lessons, they're on the channel. Like and subscribe. There's actually tabs and extra worksheets over on Patreon as well, if you guys want to take that a bit further. So we've looked at the major and minor triads. We've practiced moving them all around the 12 keys, and we looked at inversions, right? And we said that an inversion, so when we play a major triad, we're playing the root, the third, and the fifth, right? But what if we don't want to start on the root? We can still outline the chord, play the triad, without starting on that root note. We can start on the third, right? So we would play the third, the fifth, and the root, higher octave, and that is first inversion. Or what if we wanted to start on the fifth? So we would play the fifth, the root, and the third. Okay, and that is our second inversion. And the same with the minor. So we've got minor in its root position, minor triad in its first inversion. So we're playing the thirds, the fifth, and then the root an octave higher. Or we can play it in its second inversion. So we'd start on the fifth, we'd go to the root, and then we'd play the minor third, okay? So we talked about all that, and again, tabs and all that are on Patreon. So what are we going to do today? We're going to actually put what we've learned into practice in a creative way. So we're going to work with a walking bass line, all right? So what we're going to do, we're going to walk through a 2-5-1, so in the key of C. So that's D minor, so minor triad, G major or G dominant. We can just use a G major triad, and then C. Okay, so the second degree of the scale, D minor, fifth, G major, G dominant, and then come back to the 1 or the tonic, C major, right? And what we're going to do, we're going to play this progression, we're going to use its root position, then we're going to play it in the first inversion, so first inversion for both minor and major triad, and then we're going to play it in second inversion, right? And again, the tabs for this will be on Patreon if you guys are interested and want to take this further. So we're in a 2-5-1, D minor, G dominant, C major. And remember that sound, it's important. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's really, really important. So we're going to start in root position. So that's playing a minor triad, D minor, in its root position. So we're going to play root, third, fifth. Then we're going to go to G dominant, or we can use a major triad. So root, third, fifth. and then C major. So root, third, fifth, root, third, fifth. Okay, so let's play it through. Like I said, tabs are on Patreon if you want to pull them up while we go through this. So we're just going to play through using root position for now. And that's perfectly fine, right? Remember, the reason we're kind of going through this stuff, you know, you can play a walking bass line using root position, no problem. It's all good. But what we're trying to do as musicians is improve our vocabulary and knowledge, so it becomes a lot easier to take what's in here, what we're thinking about, and translate it onto the bass, right? So again, by expanding our vocabulary, our knowledge, and practicing this kind of stuff, you know, it just gives us more options and different ways to be creative. So we've played the 2-5-1 in root position. So now we're going to play it in first inversion, okay? So it's still D minor, G dominant, using the major triad, and C major. We just rather than starting on the root, we're going to start on the third. So we've got third, fifth, octave, that's D minor. Then we've got third, fifth, octave for a G major triad. And then third, fifth, octave, C major triad, right? So let's try and speed that up and play it at a decent tempo. Listen to the difference. So there's a different feel, different timbre, I think we call it, different kind of sound, right? And that's why we use it, to create a different sound rather than just starting with the root. So we've looked at 2-5-1 in the root position. And we've done it in first inversion. So now we need to do it in second inversion, okay? So remember the second inversion, we start on the fifth, then we go to the root an octave higher, and then we go to the third, okay? So we've got D minor, so we've got the fifth, the root, the third, then we're going to go to G major, root, fifth, root, third, and then C, fifth, root, third, fifth, root, third. Okay, so let's go through this in second inversion. So D minor, G major for the dominant, and C major. And we're starting on the fifth, then we go to the root and then the third, okay? So here we go. And again, it's a different sound. It gives a completely different feel, okay? So what we're going to do to finish, we're going to play through this 2-5-1. And we're going to start in root. We're going to do a cycle. Then we're going to go to the first inversion, do a cycle, so 4 bars. And then we're going to go to the second inversion, okay? Just, so when we're learning this kind of stuff, it's really important to get comfortable with where everything is on the fretboard, of course. But you want to pay attention to the sound as well, because that's what we're producing sound. Okay, so focus on your fingering, getting the time right once you're comfortable with your fingering, but also pay attention to that sound. Okay, it does sound different. So we're going to start root position 2-5-1. Okay, set first inversion. Listen to the sounds. Second. Okay, so they do sound slightly different, and that's what we're trying to get at today. So guys, thank you very much for hanging out today, spending some time with me. I do appreciate it. Tabs and backing tracks for the lesson. Well, there are no backing tracks, but tabs over on Patreon. Feel free to go and check it out. 7-day free trial, so you can try before you buy. And lovely. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys soon, all right? Take care.